Oh, I'm now realizing I forgot to boot up my thing, my sound effects that we do for stuff. So go into my Assassin's Creed Odyssey folder, custom scripting, and then just boot up soundeffects.ahk, my auto hotkey script. And then I need to open anti-micro because I could never figure out how to get auto hotkey to work with the with like controller inputs. Apparently there's a way to do it, but I could never figure it out. So I just have anti-micro convert my controller inputs into keyboard inputs, and then the auto hotkey reads those keyboard inputs and makes a sound effect accordingly. Yeah, I don't remember who it was, but someone suggested doing like the first few notes of Megalovania as a sound effect, and there it was for, was that the first time? I don't know. I don't think we heard it last stream. But yeah, there was a few ones that I that I added before the last stream. God, you wish you suggested that. All right, let's continue here. So we just finished watching the Nintendo Direct. It's a bit earlier of a stream than I usually do. It's 9:31 in the morning on Tuesday, June 18th here. It was actually a pretty good Nintendo Direct. I actually really enjoyed that, and there were some really cool things announced. But it makes my schedule so dang crazy, so I need to get through things. It's absolutely some shit you do. So I think I am going to continue with the initial idea of let's just commit to the story content here as best I can, because this is taking me like forever. And apparently the DLC of this game is pretty decently long as well. And because I just had a whole bunch more things added to the game schedule and things that I want to do before other releases this year, what I'm thinking, I thought you were done with Persona 5 Tactica. I beat it, but there was a day one DLC. Atlas being Atlas released a DLC, like a DLC expansion, on the same day that they released the game, which is really, really dumb. I didn't pick it up right at launch since I wasn't going to be able to play it for a while. I did pick it up on sale later, so I got not as bad of a price. But day one DLCs, my favorite thing in the gaming industry. So that's what I still have to do in that. Also, were they 2D for a second and they became 3D once I got to a certain distance? Is that how that worked? Something like that. So because of the things that have been added and more things that I want to get through before other releases later this year, I'm thinking my plan for Assassin's Creed Odyssey changes. I think I'm gonna beat the main game here pretty soon, as best as I can. And then I'm just gonna take a break from this game before the DLC. Just have there be a gap, kind of like I have with Persona 5 Tactica here. Even though with Persona 5 Tactica, it should be like a singular session that beats the DLC, most likely. Unlike this, where it's gonna take several streams yet. I still want to continue with the tradition of starting the next Assassin's Creed game on January 1st of each new year, so start Valhalla January 1st next year. So I won't be able to put off the DLC of this game forever. I'm gonna have to do it later this year. But I am thinking I finish off the main story, and then do the DLC sometime later. And surely there's not that much main story left. Where we left off in the story is, we met up with our mother that we've been searching for the entire game. She was like, oh, let's go back to Sparta, our home, and like, things aren't that great there. There's some corruption going on there. So we go to Sparta and see our old home, and we don't own our home anymore, so we're trying to get our home back from the two kings. And the two kings are like, whoa, we don't like you anymore. You guys suck. We'll give you your home back if you do two things for us. Go win the Olympics and go win, like, a battle that's going on over there that they're currently losing. So I've done the one. I've won the Olympics. We fought here. So I did that. Now we just have to go win the battle that's going on over this way. We have to be the conqueror, I guess. So that's what we're doing now. And then we can go back to the two kings of Sparta, be like, hey, I did the things. I guess they'll give us back our house, which I have no idea how the hell that progresses the main storyline, but apparently it's super important. Getting our house back. Maybe it'll uncover where the corruption in Sparta lies with the evil cult of Cosmos that we're taking down in this game, and maybe we'll fight one of the kings of Sparta or something like that, or maybe it's some other head honcho around there somewhere, I don't know. And then, I don't know, there can't be that much left to this game, surely. But, yeah, I am definitely starting to feel how long this game gets. Which game did you get on sale? Sorry. Oh, the Persona 5 Tactica DLC. So I was refreshing due to a stupid laggy, and so it caused you to be way behind in the stream. And the stream lag every 3 seconds. Oh, I was just saying that with Persona 5 Tactica, they released day one DLC. because everyone loves day one DLC expansions. So I just got that on sale later. But is there anything here? Guess not. Okay. So I'll do that sometime later. So what I'll do, go to this location maybe. There is a mercenary over here. So yeah, that's kind of my plan. Yeah, I know. Part of me is almost debating about like just not doing it at all. Whoops. He's just gonna be a problem later. So gang up on him here. Her here. Assuming genders in 2024. Adoni the Beautiful, huh? Well, we're just gonna take you out before you become a problem. So I'm also gonna build up adrenaline off of you for future battles here. What Day 1 DLC doesn't even have. It's called the Painted Heart DLC. And apparently it's... What?
Keel over and die.
She keeled over and died when I gave her the command. That was like the perfect sound effect for that moment. I was gonna hang back and play Half-Life 2 with Doom Eternal weapons. Nice. Anyway, or it's Painted Heart or Repaint Your Heart? I don't remember. But Persona 5 main game, when that came out, it had so many party members. And then when Persona 5 Royal came out that had like additional content, there were 2 new characters that you could play as in like a new epilogue story. There was Sumire and there was Akechi as I called him. And even though Persona 5 Tactica came out like so long after Persona 5 Royal, those 2 Royal characters you can't actually play in Persona 5 Tactica. Unless you get the DLC content that includes them as characters. The 2 Royal characters are playable in this new like challenge mode that apparently has like some of the hardest levels in the game, from what I heard. Like the main game was really not all that hard, and I was turning off my brain for a lot of it. So apparently you can get actual challenge in the DLC content. I'm getting another email about something that I don't really care about. So yeah, the DLC is like a challenge mode and the Persona 5 Royal characters. Like there's games like Persona 5 Strikers where that came out, I think it was just a few months after Persona 5 Royal. So Strikers didn't include the Royal characters because I guess they were kind of co-developed, or maybe Strikers was in development a little bit later or something. I don't know. But they, or earlier, maybe I should say. But but with Tactica coming out so many years later, the fact that it's like, oh, you can play these Persona 5 Royal characters, but only if you shell out for the Day 1 DLC is so dumb. I guess they're my friends here, so I just need the chest. Where the heck was it? Where's your loot? Oh, it's over there. Okay. I gotcha. So, yeah, that's what it is. And according to how long to beat, it's about 4.5 hours long, so I can beat it in just one session. I think I might do another session of Persona 3 Reload before I do that. And then just take a singular stream to do the whole paint part thing, DLC of Tactica, and then it's done. And, yeah. Pretty much.
I'm looking for...
You!
I know you. Rude. That looked like it didn't actually hit me.
Malakas. I'm here to help, you idiot.
Not after Megaris. Not after what you did.
King Archidamos.
What, after I got Nicoloso pissed
sent
off?
me to aid you in securing the region.
This is how much he trusts me. He put his faith in a fucking mercenary. The gods are punishing me with your presence.
If I
Wow,
was
you're
your
mean.
punishment, you'd already be dead.
Why have the kings sent you?
To steal your glory? I miss my brother. I've come to help Sparta. Yeah, that.
Stentor, relax. I'm here as an ally to Sparta and to you. We've worked together once. We can do it again.
Your help in Megaris might have secured the region for Sparta, but I lost more than I gained. I shouldn't have trusted you then, and why now?
I miss my brother, Tails. At least Persona 3's day one DLC was purely cosmetic and are not important. Even that's still sucky, but yeah, it is the lesser of the evil. But then they did also release the epilogue that was previously free in FES or whatever it was, as like an added expansion that was like $40 or something like that. And ridiculous. What's the situation?
What's going on?
Everything is fine.
Oh, I so badly want to kick him off.
A problem, but nothing we can't handle.
Why are you here?
What is the Spartan army doing in Viotia?
We sieged Athens, but Cleon took power and pushed us out. Taking Viotia will weaken his position. The wolf was gone. I was needed. I couldn't abandon my men.
You should be glad I'm here.
You should thank the gods that I've come to help you.
The only reason you're still alive is that writ you carry. You're not an ally, just a weapon.
Then put me to work.
You're not up to the challenge.
Try me.
There are 4 Viotian champions fighting for the Athenians. Aristeos, Yanira, Nesea, and Veragon. Think you can kill them?
I realize it's making him quieter when the camera's further out, but it does make it kind of hard to hear.
We could work this out.
Thank goodness for subtitles. Killing the champions won't help? I'll kill the champions for Sparta.
I'll find these champions and put an end to them.
I doubt it will be as easy as you think. But I'm relieved to see you can follow orders.
Where will I find the champions?
Where will I find these mighty Viotians?
I only know of 2. There are reports of Aristeos occupying the military fort of Gela.
Look at that N64 mountain in the background. I didn't realize I was playing Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Why are they helping Athens?
The Viotians hated everyone. Why are they working with Athens?
They see both Sparta and Athens as enemies. But Athens got here first, and they agreed to a temporary alliance.
What makes them so mighty?
What's so great about these champions? They're just 4 people against the Spartan military.
Sparta has its army, and Viotia has its legends.
What is going on with that mountain?
This place used to be.
Why does it look so awful? I have what I need.
The sooner I get this done, the sooner we take Viotia for Sparta.
Why can't I target him? Damn it! Dang it, I muted my microphone by accident when I was trying to turn stuff on. Well, I wanted to kick him off. It wouldn't let me. I'm taking this stuff now, it's mine. Find and assassinate the Boeotian champions. Okay, so... He said he knows of 2, and it's not showing me on the map. I thought it would show me on the map. So, will it say here? No? Oh god. I wasn't paying attention because I thought it would tell me, like, here. Can you tell me again? And maybe the... No! I can't talk to you again? Where do I find them? What? Find and assassinate the Boeotian generals. Where? What? Like, maybe I'll trek into here and see what happens, because we were kind of looking out this way. But yeah, honestly, I don't know what the point of making cosmetic DLCs and other day one DLCs at all is. Literally almost no one bought them. With them having like 20 reviews on Steam total. Oh, you just checked it out? Yeah, like, even if you do have a DLC at the ready right at launch, which you really shouldn't, you can always just release it later where it'll get some more attention as like, hey, there's new content added for this game now, rather than releasing it at the exact same time. Like what was done with Fire Emblem Engage, where they had their DLC basically done alongside with the game's launch, but they still spaced it out a decent bit. I mean, it was still launching so dang frequently that I could not beat the main game before, like, all the DLC was out. They kept on releasing things way too fast. But at least that way they could showcase it in, like, Nintendo Directs and stuff like that. Of, hey, there's a new wave of DLC coming from Fire Emblem Engage, and then Fire Emblem Engage stays relevant a bit longer. But Persona 5 Tactica kind of came out and then just lost all of its relevancy, like, immediately. Is what it kind of felt like. I think a lot of people are also in Persona 5 burnout after how many Persona 5 games have been released. And are just like, oh, another Persona 5 game? Is what I think a lot of people are like at this point and just didn't really have all that much interest in it, honestly. Is what I think. That's my personal opinion. And, like, how many people even know about the Cave of Madness? That and the the fact that Persona 5 Tactica even has DLC. How many people even cared about Persona 5 Tactica in the first place? Oh, there's a thingamabob there. So yeah, it's not exactly a particularly relevant game by any means, I would say. Non-canon mediocre Persona 5 games at that. Yeah, Tactica had some really cool things going on with it. Like, it had an amazing soundtrack. I loved it. The soundtrack of that game was so dang good. And the story actually had, like, some interesting elements to it. But, like, you go through almost the entire first world before it gets good. It's basically at the end of the first world that it starts to get good. So there's 4 worlds in the game. And it stays good until the end of the 3rd world. The story is basically done. Like, it was focusing on one character and kind of like his own internal strife. And it was like, wow, it was actually really fascinating how they got to analyze Toshiro. So there's a character that you recruit who's this politician dudo named Toshiro. And all the worlds that you go to are basically like shadows of his own life. So the first world, you take down like his psycho bitch fiance that basically just wants to marry him for like her own political power. Oh,
This is it.
okay, so I'm getting close to one of the dudos there. Because she craves the power that he'll get by running for the thingamabob and just intends to manipulate him into getting what she wants for society. So she just wants to use him and basically make him her slave. And then the second world's about his father, that is like some head honcho politician guy that also wants to shape him into what he wants rather than what Toshiro wants for himself. And then the third world, you fight Shadow Toshiro. That's basically like the amalgamation of his own like self-doubts and like, you can't save anyone, and look at these instances where like everything went wrong and yada yada stuff like that. And it was like, wow, it's actually really interesting to explore Toshiro as a character. But at the end of the third world, as a reminder, what Persona 5 did was there was this god, like the Holy Grail, that was basically manipulating society and like, aha, I'm in control of everything and you have to take me down. That's what Persona 5 Tactica did. At the end of World 3, after you take down Shadow Toshiro, there was this godlike being that I don't even remember what it was called. That's like, aha, I'm the one behind everything that's like manipulating Toshiro's mind and doing stuff. And, like, getting energy off of these negative feelings and yada yada, and you gotta defeat me. And then, like, the whole Toshiro character development is just kind of forgotten. Like, his character is done after World 3. And you basically just do, like, a boss rush in the 4th world and lead up to taking down this god that was just literally pulled out of the writer's asses. Like, I think it would have been a lot cooler for Shadow Toshiro to be, like, the final boss and really focus on Toshiro's story, as opposed to, like, the first 3 worlds are Toshiro's story, and then the 4th world is, here's this random generic big bad that we've randomly gotten out of nowhere, just to be responsible for the whole thing. Like, it's so dumb. And in the first world, you don't even know who Toshiro is until, like, the end, as you're exploring his psycho fiance's palace, and he's starting to get his memories back because he has amnesia. So, like, early on in the game, you rescue him from a jail cell there, and have no idea why she wants him so much. And he just seems like some completely random side character with no importance that you keep on asking why... why is he even here? Until the end of the first world when he actually becomes important. But, like, that entire first world up until that point is so boring. So, like, 90% of World 1 is super boring story-wise, and, like, 100% of World 4 is super boring story-wise. But during, like, the end of 1 all the way up until the end of 3, they actually had some really cool stuff going on with being able to analyze Toshiro's story, and I actually really like Toshiro as a character. It would have been nice if they actually committed the full game to that, instead of just these parts. So that I liked. It actually had some cool things going on with the story in that sense. But it was also a really boring format to tell that story. The cutscenes were not very interesting. Like, the cutscenes in Persona 5 had, it was animation presets, but it was 3D, and the characters would do different emotes that get you interested. Whereas in Tactica, it was just these 2D arts that are changing, like, their facial expressions. Just visual novel, and you basically just sit back and fall asleep because there's nothing engaging happening on the screen in front of you. So there was some cool stuff going on with the story, but it was just such a boring format to tell the story. And even playing on merciless difficulty that you'd think would be like some super brutal difficulty, like, I was able to play basically the entire first world by turning off my brain. The later ones had a little bit more challenge and would engage me sometimes, not most of the time. And even some of the final boss rush levels, I was beating in like 1 or 2 turns. Like, when there's 5 difficulty modes, and I was playing on the hardest of Merciless. Like, it literally felt like they were designing baby's first strategy RPG, is what it kind of felt like. So I don't know what was going on with the difficulty of that game. Like, I always try to play things on the hardest difficulty, and then I'll review it from that perspective, where, in my opinion, the hardest difficulty should feel super challenging, but it should always feel possible. That's what a optimal hard difficulty is, in my opinion. Like, that's the way that this feels a lot of the time, where it's like enemies can shred me at any time, and I have to play the best Assassin's Creed in my life. Like, because one tiny mistake and I'm dead. That's the way this feels sometimes. But I do wish that it wasn't just like one tiny mistake and you're dead. That there was a little bit more leeway, so. This isn't exactly my favorite thing ever in terms of a hardest difficulty. What is one of my favorite hardest difficulties, I wonder? I have to think about that. But the hardest difficulty in Persona 5 Tactica sucked. It was like the easiest thing imaginable. Oh, I know what a good hardest difficulty would be. When I played Last of Us Part 1 on this channel, I played on grounded mode. Which, oh. And so apparently Paint Your Heart DLC has less than 100 reviews. That's so sad. Oh, I guess you guys are going that way now. Anyway, grounded mode, which the people that had played Last of Us before were telling me things like, oh, don't do grounded for your first playthrough. It's so hard. There's no way you'll be able to do it. I loved grounded mode. Grounded mode was amazing. That's like the only way I know how to play The Last of Us now. So in grounded mode, you don't have any UI. Well, you do have UI if like you go into your inventory and like play around with your guns and stuff like that, or do like the little quick menu to like switch weapons. But you don't have a health bar. You just have to roughly guess like what your health is at based on like the way your character is walking, or if they're holding like an injured part, or if the edges of your screen are going red, or if you just keep on dying in one hit and it's like, okay, maybe I should use a health pack. And let's phone a friend. How about onto the bear, I guess, is what we'll do. And when it came to your ammo, whoa, like you would check how much ammo you had in total by going into your inventory at any time. But as for what's in your gun, you just had to keep track of it, which is how it would work realistically. So there would be some times that some zombie or some guy would be coming after me, and I would go to shoot my gun and then find that it's not even loaded. I go, oh crap, I forgot to, holy crap, how many times are you gonna swing? I go, oh crap, I forgot to reload. And it's like, you actually have to pay attention to these things. Get launched. Hello, Cheesecake. How's it going today? Didn't watch what were the biggest announcements. There was a new Mario and Luigi game that was announced at the beginning. Metroid Prime 4 is coming out next year, so I guess it'll be on the Switch, and maybe it'll be on the next console as well. I don't know. Whoa, I hit that way too early. Oh crap. Well, new Mario and Luigi game, Metroid Prime 4, Ace Attorney Investigations 1 and 2, which was previously exclusive to Japan, is finally coming to the West here. There's a new Legend of Zelda title, a 2D one, in the style of Link's Awakening, but it seems to take place in the world of Link to the Past. From what I could tell of the map. Oh crap, I'm all the way back here. Where you play as Zelda. The first Legend of Zelda game where you play as Zelda, if we're not counting the CDI games. So that's pretty cool. Apparently Link goes missing, he's sucked into the Shadow Realm, and now you play as Zelda, and she has the Gmod dupe tool, and you have to like place objects around, copy objects, and paste them around to solve puzzles and stuff. So that'll be kind of neat. But since it takes place clearly in the world of Link to the Past, like I recognize the map and the castle and all that. It makes me wonder if it's like the third game in a trilogy of Link to the Past and Link Between Worlds, or where it is in the timeline, or what exactly they're doing. Like, should I feel obligated to play Link to the Past and Link Between Worlds on the channel first, and then play the, I forget what it's called, the new Legend of Zelda game. But yeah, there's a new Zelda game announced. Ow! Holy crap! But yeah, maybe I'll play the CDI games one day. Oh, the captive got freed along the way there. Let's do that. Oi. Maybe, but considering how my game queue is, it probably wouldn't be for a hot second. Okay. Yeah, and then, well, we'll finish fighting here first. But yeah, cool, thanks for filling you in. So biggest announcement was Mario and Luigi. I'd say biggest announcement was probably Metroid Prime 4, if it wasn't for the fact that that game was announced previously, so we knew it was in development. I'd just been waiting for a long time. That was probably the most surprising thing, was Mario and Luigi, since the company that was originally making the game's Alpha Dream, like, went bankrupt. Whoa! So I don't actually know who's developing it now. Like, just something in-house Nintendo, or something like that, is maybe developing it now. Oi, how are you not dead? There, I'm running out of arrows here. I need to conserve some of these arrows. Would be good. I want my thing, please, to recharge my adrenaline. It was actually a pretty good Nintendo Direct, honestly. I would say. But yeah. Title of the new Zelda game is a little forgettable. I don't remember what it is, even. Wand of... I don't know, Gamelon. Come on! How am I still on fire? Jeebus, man. Nor do I. It was something. What are you aiming at? What the hell? This is just like my final battle against Ganon in Breath of the Wild. When I broke my rotation. Oh, button. Oh, Echoes of Wisdom. It wasn't Wand of anything. That's what it was. I gotcha. Why would you not count the CDI games? They are the best. Yeah, it was a pretty nice Nintendo Direct. I liked it. It was good. I don't actually have to fight them, though.
Let's keep out of sight.
Screw this person in particular, I guess. So yeah, that's what went on there. Yeah, I know, loot. By the way, always come back to your Roller Coaster Tycoon video as a huge comfort fit of mine. You'd love a follow-up of some kind someday. That's awesome to hear. I have thought about doing that before. There have been like some titles that have released since then. Some updates along the way. I'm honestly kind of surprised that video did as well as it did. Like, I listened to that and my mic quality very much sucks out compared to now. But that video ended up getting a surprising amount of attention. Even the graphic designer of the original 2 Roller Coaster Tycoon games actually saw that video and sent me an email about it. Well, I don't know, did I get nommed in the leg at the end there? Which was really cool. Simon Foster, he sent me an email and talked a little bit about the development of Roller Coaster Tycoon, about how the original 2 games were very much a work of passion, where Chris Sawyer was making the game that he wanted to play first and foremost, and then figuring out how it would be sold would be something that would come later. And one of the things I mentioned was how he suggested, like, many ideas. I think he said hundreds in the email to Chris, of which Chris maybe accepted 1 or 2, because he was trying to make the game that he wanted to play. And he said that there would always be a good reason as to why the idea was rejected. But yeah, did that video super well. Love your analysis of the crap Switch port. See that vid maybe 10 times now. You love it. Oh, that's awesome to hear. Glad you enjoyed that. Crap, why are you trying to kill me? How well did Persona 5 Tactica handle the original characters from the original game? Did it ruin them like a lot of other spin-offs? I mean, basically the way that it handled them is basically like a lot of, is basically they're like side characters in a Fire Emblem game. Their character is 1 or 2 personality traits. That's their character. They don't really have character development or anything like that, or continue to expand on their character. Like, they're true to themselves and all that, but they're just very generic, I would say. Hey, get out of here! Okay, I need you to not be trying to kill me, please! But yeah, right now the main things that I've been continuing to do more things on are like the Pokemon essays, since those have gotten a lot of attention as well. And that continues to get like pretty frequent new games. Ow! What the heck? You're so mean! Please! Yeah, Guzma's a freaking mad lad. I was actually just visiting him in New Orleans a month ago. And we're doing a playthrough of Tales of Symphonia together, me and that mad lad. He hasn't given any bits for a long time because he loves the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and his number of gifts, which I think it was 1, 2, 3, and then he forgot about that, and I think he gifted another, and now it's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's another person trying to kill me. I'm just trying to do the story objective. Leave me alone. Do you mind? Are they fighting each other? Yes, fight each other. I'm about to die here. Please!